Hey guys, been a while since I did a video. Been super busy, wrapped up my semester at school. I am a machinist currently, but I decided to make a career change, and I'm in school for being an MRI tech. I'm excited about it, but it sucks, it's hard, and it's been eating up all my time, so I appreciate everyone's patience. Today I got a review for you, the Leatherman Arc. This one's not new. There's been a ton of videos on these guys, but I just wanted to give my experience with it. I would say this is probably a long-term review. I've had this guy for almost a year. I bought it February last year, and it's been a daily driver for me. I carry the shit out of this thing. It's typically always paired with a pocket knife, but this is one of the few I've actually felt good about carrying solo. I don't know what it is. I love the blade shape on this thing. It's just a nice sheepfoot blade. It's decently tall. It's tough to see with the finish on here, but it's actually got a decently tall grind. And just the lock and the easy deployment, especially if you're left-handed. So, nice part about this new lock that they've done on the Arc, and I guess they did it on the Free Series as well, is that you can actually pop the blade out and flip it around. So, me being left-handed, I moved it from the backside here, just flipped the saw in the blade so I could get nice access left-handed. The blade shape, if we want to compare it here to this Leatherman Charge TTI, compliments of my dad. Just got this from him recently. This thing's pretty rad. You can see. So, I mean, it's quite a bit different. If you're more of a fan of a traditional drop point, the Charge and the Wave and the, well, I guess the original aluminum Charge as well, you'll get more of that traditional drop point style blade. Obviously, if you go with the Charge or the Charge TTI here, you get a more premium blade. So you get S30V on this guy. I think the aluminum standard Charge is going to be a 154 cm. And then this guy, you do get I'm pretty sure this is DLC, could be PVD, might have to Google that one. Sheepfoot blade, which has been really great for daily use, to be honest. I love the shape. I mean, I'm opening a lot of packages these days. That's about as far as my knife use is going, but I still have the addiction, so we're gonna keep it going. You get a Magna Cut blade on this one, so fancy schmancy. This thing's pretty awesome. The edge retention for me has been great. I've heard really mixed reviews. Some of the guys I've talked to in like some Leatherman Facebook groups and whatnot said that the heat treat on theirs is pretty shit, but that has not been my experience. I think I've touched this thing up one time in like the year I've been carrying it, and it's just been to toss a little micro bevel on it, just with like a work sharp field sharpener. And that's been great for me. I mean, this thing still plenty sharp. On to the main reason of why, I would say probably the biggest reason why you would look for an Arc, is the free technology. So the free technology, obviously, you're getting this really free dropping blade or pliers. Really nice for one-handed operation. I mean, my field of view right now with my recording setup's not great, but you can see, super easy to play one-handed. The new Leatherman, the new way is ease of access. So I brought the Charge along here just so we can get some comparisons here, but you have all of your tools on this guy accessible on the outside. So what they started doing with these, like with the Wave series, the Surge, you did start getting outside accessible tools. But in this one, you know, you got your knife, file, serrated blade with gut hook, and then you have your saw here. So you have those 4 tools on the outside, which is fine. You know, and then you can open these one-handed. It's a little more work, you know. If you want to do it, you kind of need to tip it and then whip it open a little bit, and then you can get to it. And that's fine. The Arc and the original free, I think it's a free P2, You access everything on the outside, which is pretty dope. I love it. So, I mean, this is probably going to be one of your mainly used tools, you know, your bit exchanger. Rock that on the outside. The lock is ambidextrous friendly, super easy to operate. You know, bunch of tools. Your saw here, pretty nice. My favorite thing, and most used, the scissors. Scissors on this thing kick ass. If we want to compare those to like the charge scissors are fine, but I mean, come on, Doug. Look at the size difference. This would be a stupid nitpick, but the scissors on the Arc are a bit smoother, obviously much bigger, a lot better to cut with. These guys are for like outside of cutting threads. I mean, I guess maybe like a small, like paracord or something, it works fine for. These guys have cut a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't even have cut with, and they're awesome. I absolutely love it. Sticking with the theme of the TTI and the Charge series, still got your micro bit, so I actually use this thing quite a bit. It's great for safety glasses at work, your sunglasses, any of that stuff. You still have an awl, get the nice little wire stripper on this thing. This actually does work really well. I've used it to strip some smaller wires, and it is great. Diamond file, I use this thing all the time at work, knocking burrs off parts and just touching stuff up. It's really great. I absolutely love this file. Have zero complaints with that thing. And then the other thing, so the long debated topic of Leatherman's plier heads and where they're made. So if we compare it to the Charge TTI, which I believe prior to the Arc was the most premium model that Leatherman made. Notice how the head just says Leatherman on it. And then if we go over here to our fancy schmancy Arc, we got a nice little USA stamp on there. So I've heard a few times that the Leatherman's obviously assembled, made USA, but the plier heads have been sourced with foreign and domestic materials, and hence why they weren't able to stamp USA on the plier head. I could be wrong. That's just what I've heard. And then obviously USA stamp on these guys, I would imagine, are fully made in the United States, which is cool. I mean, these days, now that I'm kind of branching out more, I'm not as much of a snob on that stuff. I mean, it's like Nick Shabazz always says, you know, quality is based on effort, not geography. And that certainly rings true, you know, especially with that Chavez I bought recently. You can get great craftsmanship and build quality in places outside of the US, but if you're a true American and you want to support US businesses like I do, I certainly try to. This is a great tool. Another point of contention, the price. So we get a nice little USA tax on this one, $230. To me, for having a USA made multi-tool with the features it offers me, I mean, this thing is a delight to use at work. The profile's nice, you know, I don't even clip it most of the time, to just slip it into my pocket and then have a main knife in my other pocket. It's great. I mean, it's got pretty much everything you'd want. There's a couple little gripes I might have, you know, the pliers have like, you know, with the free, I guess there's a tiny little more play than squeezing like with the Charge. Access in here is a little more narrow than the Charge TTI. Again, guys, we're nitpicking here. You know, depending on your budget, these might seem like things that are legitimate that you'd want to know about. I didn't know about this, but not a huge deal for me. For overall comfort, though, I mean, the TTI is the more comfortable tool. We can't really argue that. A bit more stiff, but more access in here. A little more comfortable when you're actually cranking on it. I do like that. This one has a little different plier head on it, the TTI does, compared to the Arc. I don't know if that would be considered the EOD plier head, but anyways, it's pretty awesome for crimping. Another thing, so if we compare these two, you can see that the plier head on the Arc is quite a bit more stout. So wider, a little more bite on the pliers. I think the cutters they're the same. I've heard of heat treat issues out of the Arc. I know when these things first came out, people were breaking the cutters a lot. I don't know what that's about. I haven't heard of that on the Charge series. Any of my Charge series Leathermans I've never had them break, so not sure what they did differently with these guys. But that hasn't been my experience. You know, the whole time I've had these guys, they've been great. Never had them chip. Super sharp still. They've been great. So obviously that is, you know, some are going to be good, some are going to be junk. That's just kind of how it goes. Other than that, yeah, I mean, this thing's been really great. I love the one-handed operation. The blade is awesome. The lock is awesome. You know, that's one of the big things I really did like about the Arc, getting into that, is because if we compare it to like a Charge, this is going to be applicable to the Charge. Maybe not so much the Surge, because that thing's a tank, but the Charge, the Wave, more of a liner lock style. And this thing doesn't have it, but my old Charge did, is I did have blade play. And I did have play on my other tools, my other outside accessible tools here as well on my other Charge. TTI's more rigid, but again, this thing hasn't really been put through the ringer yet, so only time will tell with that one. This guy has a really awesome locking mechanism. You can see how deep this lockup is. That thing just clunks down in there, and it's rock solid. I mean, no play. And the other nice feature is that it's really easy to operate. You don't have to push your finger down into the cutting path, anything like that. It's real quick and smooth. I have no complaints. This has been a really solid tool for me, and I'd recommend it. I mean, unless you already have, you know, if I only had the Charge TTI, I would say, it's not really worth it. This guy's $200, so it'd be hard to recommend someone go spend another $230 to get the Arc. But I actually had the Arc before I had this TTI. So I would say, is it an upgrade? That's for you to decide. I would say as far as build quality and usefulness, not if I already had this guy. If I didn't have another Leatherman already, if I had just a Wave and I wanted to get a premium Leatherman, I'd say, hell yeah, this thing's a shit, you know, US plier head. I've heard people say that this is the strongest plier head, even stronger than the Surge. I doubt that. I've had a Surge in the past. That is the most heavy duty Leatherman. People can say what they want. I don't believe that this plier head is stronger than the Surge's plier head, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, get out there, check them out. These things are super rad. I mean, if you're a guy like me, I would say for like the last year and a half, I've been a daily multi-tool guy, especially like changing out end mills and just picking out chips and burrs and all sorts of stuff at work, being a machinist. It is really nice to have a Leatherman in your pocket. And this one here has been an absolute delight. So you got an extra $230 around, I would say buy one. They're lovely. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all the likes and subscribers recently. It's been really awesome. I just started this YouTube channel to be a little side hobby for me, and just another way to connect with some more knife bros. So yeah, leave me any comments if you guys have anything you want me to check out or take a look at. Again, I appreciate all you guys' feedback, and I hope you have a great day.